The planning process has become possibly the biggest part of my drawing process. Hi, I'm Jono, and if you're new here, I do pencil drawings. I often get DMs or messages like this asking me if I can share the link to where I took my reference photo. And this is something that I put a huge amount of effort into. Probably the most difficult part of my creative process is constructing the compositions that I draw. So I thought I'd go through some of the most recent artworks to share with you the process that we went through to try and capture these compositions. Also, this video is sponsored by Squarespace, but I'll tell you more about them later. So starting off with maybe one of the more recent ones, which is Waiting Under Stone. This one was super fun. After a lot of exploring in the forest and trying to find elements in this piece that I thought would hit the notes that I really wanted, one of the final moments in this artwork was to sit in a position called Full Lotus, which is a meditative position. I don't have nearly enough experience to sit in this position for a long period of time, but what ended up happening was I needed to sit in this position for 45 minutes to an hour at a time per shoot. We were shooting multiple times a day for over a week, and what ended up happening was I injured my hip flexor and had to go to a physio to try and fix this kind of quickly. The process was really intense. Sitting in this position for a long time, having fake blood dripped into my eyes while I'm trying to balance a rock on my head. There's a huge juxtaposition with the process of making this artwork and the mood that I was trying to capture, which was this serene kind of space under suffering. Maybe it's appropriate. Another really fun one was Figures of Rest, which again, once I'd found a bit of a composition that I wanted to move forward with, meant that I had to try and lie in this cradle of horns, which I didn't realize would be so painful, and I kind of all but impaled myself with these horns. But it was crucial to try and see the interaction of the horn and skin, and there's a lot of details here which I think are really important to practically capture some of the moments within these artworks which I think make them and bring them to life. Another one was I Can Fix This, where my assistant Lou and I were just pouring blood, or this fake blood, into our eyes, which actually burnt quite a bit. It was really uncomfortable, but the effect again was really, really cool. There's a lot that happens behind the scenes which can be really uncomfortable. But all of this eventually ends up in something that I really feel proud of. And I think there's something here, because it wasn't always like this. I used to be perfectly happy with the reference process taking maybe a day or two to try and find this juxtaposition of ideas and photographs and things that I can put together to make an artwork. And going back to a series like the Rational Animals series, these are drawings that I'm really proud of, and the planning process maybe took a couple of days. There wasn't much of a sacrifice made from like a physical perspective. What seems to have happened is I think my need to try and push the attention to detail that happens in the planning phase, and also to have something that's visually still interesting, has kind of led itself to this path of the planning process just not being that kind physically on the models. I think a big reason why I often use myself as the model is because I feel really bad putting someone else through this kind of torture. I think what makes me feel most unique in my practice is no longer the techniques that I've been working on over the years, but more the way that I'm constructing my artworks and constructing those compositions. Working in photography, special effects, and digital manipulation has become a really interesting and rewarding process. It's just, I don't know if I believe in rewarding. It's probably the most frustrating part of it. But I think that that's also how you know you're doing something fulfilling. That's why I'm hesitant to just give those reference photos away. There's a huge amount of me that goes into those, and I view those reference photos as a huge part of the artwork. They don't always get seen, but that's where a lot of the creative process lies, and so it almost feels like giving that away is giving away some of the artwork. But I do share some of them on my Patreon page. I'll tell you about that at the end of the video. I think the best takeaway would be for artists who are kind of stuck in that space where you love drawing, but you're kind of bound by the references that you can find online, and to encourage you to slowly start taking the steps into taking your own references. And I know it can be difficult. It means having a camera, and the barrier to entry is quite high, but the reward is incredible when you add that to your creative process. Before in this video, I just want to give a quick shout out to this video sponsor, Squarespace. I've been working with them for a couple of years now, and they've played a huge role in my career, not only in sponsoring these videos and helping me maintain this channel, but more importantly, they played a crucial role early on in my career. I was looking for a way to showcase my work, and I didn't have time to learn HTML, and the idea of building a simple, beautiful, utility-rich website was just very daunting. And so I was looking for a way to showcase my work, make it easy for collectors to find me and get in touch with me, and I found that Squarespace did that effortlessly. I never had to patch or upgrade anything. I could register a domain with them and set up an online store. And most importantly, I could design a portfolio and show my work the way that I wanted to. Also, every time I got stuck, their amazing support team helped me out instantly. So if you're looking at building a website, give Squarespace a try. And if you decide that you love them, use the soft code and get 10% off your first purchase. If you really do want to use some of the photos that I work with, I've started to upload some of the adjacent photos from shoots that I use to plan my artworks on my Patreon page. And can subscribe to my Patreon and get access to some high quality photos that I've been using in my reference shoots. Not the exact photo, but I'll usually give an adjacent photo that you can use to manipulate into a drawing. Let me know in the comments if you also take your own reference photos or if it's something that you're thinking of getting into. I promise you, it's so rewarding. I hope this video was helpful. Thanks for the support. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.